I don't know, man. Everything I've done is just iteration on what I did yesterday. So I don't know if I would change anything. All the mistakes I've made, all the good things I did. I think if I didn't do that, I don't know if I'd be in the same spot I'm in today.
I heard there's going to be like a wow moment, so I'm pretty excited to check it out and see.
I really like the fact that it's making people put their money where their mouth is, right? You say you can do something, show us. It's a brilliant idea. I love it.
Hey, everybody, welcome. I'm here at ProveIt 2026 at the Inductive Automation booth with Kyle Chase. Kyle, thank you for taking time to sit down with me.
From Zach, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, so tell us, what is your role at Inductive Automation?
So I'm a technical product manager. So I work with our product management team and help do a lot of the initial discovery and opportunity assessment for the features we're going to look at adding to the product.
What were some of the major features that, just so people kind of get an idea, that you were sort of contributing, on the latest release?
So I was a little late to the party with A3, but I helped get the core historian pushed across the finish line and help them with some of the tag changes and resource changes as well.
Awesome. Okay. And there's been quite a lot of tag changes. We were just talking with Walker, who's stopped by the booth, about when we met. And so for the audience, I actually met Kyle Chase. I was subcontracting to his company at the time as system integrator. And we actually met on a large oil and gas SCADA project along with Walker Reynolds. That's where I met both of you guys. I asked Walker what was one question he would ask you, which was, how would that project change, that Firebrand award-winning project with millions of tags and the gateway area network? What would that be like if we were to develop that project today?
I mean, it'd be very different. The first half year of that project probably would have been expedited to a couple of weeks. We did a lot of data discovery and data normalization at the time. That project was also built before the gateway network was even thought of. So we would either be using the gateway network or probably MQTT as the primary method of transferring tag data. And there would probably be a lot less servers. We had a very concrete, strict back-end, front-end relationship there.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Ignition Edge wasn't a thing. The gateway area network had just launched. Arlen Nipper hadn't given his famous MQTT speech yet even. So, it's come a long way. Talk to us a little bit about some of those back-end tag changes, though, that have made the platform more robust. Specifically, like maybe from if you're familiar with version 7 to 8, what was under the hood on those changes?
Yeah, so like in 8, we really optimize memory consumption when you're using UDTs. That's something that got improved quite a bit. I know when we were doing Pioneer originally, the new alarm system was relatively new. I believe that was 7.6. I think
7.6.7.7.
Yeah, 7.6.7. So that was still quite new. So we've optimized over the last decade and a half, I guess it would be, how well the alarm system works. So yeah, from a tag standpoint though, like we'd be using MQTT as the primary source of truth for all of our tags. So that would really help lower our memory consumption as well.
Talk about MQTT. What do you like about it? What could be improved? And what's missing?
I mean, for me, being able to decouple your software from your architecture is pretty key. We've all heard Arlen talk about that as well. To me, that's the most important part. I would like to see more support for non-Spark plug payloads in our environment. They're still used for JSON. We just get support for reading JSON data, but it's not really good support for writing JSON, in my opinion.
All right, so you'd be able to send an object and it would format it in JSON for you. What about, you hear people talking about being able to query an MQTT broker or be able to create methods? What are your thoughts on that?
I honestly don't have a thought on that right now.
Was this your first ProveIt conference?
This is my first ProveIt. I was not here last year. So.
Okay. What are your thoughts so far?
It's pretty good. It's pretty crazy to see how big it is at this point in time. I don't know what the count is, but I heard anywhere from the 1,500 to 1,700 people. So that's really impressive in the first 2 years. So props to Walker and his team for getting us as big as it is. I really like the fact that it's making people put their money where their mouth is, right? You say you can do something, show us. It's a brilliant idea. I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great to have you here and be able to connect again. That's the other thing I really love is being able to see all the familiar faces from online or years in the past. So give us an idea, with being with Inductive Automation, what do you have in store for us for your guys' title session tomorrow?
You're going to see a large architecture of servers being able to read data from the plant floor all the way up to perfect environment. There's a lot of cool things. I definitely do not want to spoil any of the hard work that I did. So all I can say is do not miss it because you'll be blown away.
I heard there's going to be like a wow moment. So I'm pretty excited to check it out and see. I know Walker was like very interested to hear what you guys were going to show. So, part of it was really around that tag path, like being able to use, and that was one of the things that we were talking about before this podcast was being able to use like Ignition string-based tag paths, be able to have that hierarchy was kind of the first SCADA platform to really do that.
Yeah. It gives us some inherent information just based off that tag path itself. You're able to know what area you're in, what flight you're in, what type you are. Back in the day when we were building it, right, it was really up to whatever we decided was important and we made that tag path. Now, with Unified Namespace, it's kind of more formal about how people should be building those tag paths. So, I mean, really, think about the Unified Namespace. It has a lot of its background is probably traced back to the Ignition tag paths.
I mean, for me, I always say that was that large oil and gas project using the tag path system to create an asset hierarchy. That was my first kind of introduction to what I would call a unified namespace. But what are you personally most excited for?
I'm excited to see the two title sessions. There's some gold sessions I'm really excited for. The Opto 22 did a great session.
I don't know. You got to see that one?
Yeah, it was great.
Sweet. Yeah. Benson always goes hard. So, and Opto 22. What about the the networking events? Any of those got your attention? Or are you guys doing anything this week?
Yeah, like there's the casino night. There's the medieval times tomorrow. I heard you and I are gonna hop on some horses and do some jousting. So
Let's do it. Oh hell yeah, let's do it.
But yeah, no, just general networking is pretty great.
All right. Man, I honestly, I was like, if I look back to when we were developing on that project, in the war room, writing SQL queries by hand, which is kind of crazy nowadays, but I'm glad I went through that because now I feel like I understand the tech better than if I had just learned it with AI. But yeah, you're right. It would have changed dramatically.
You remember that module we made that took the Xbox database and created the tags out of that?
Yeah.
That was pretty good from a migration standpoint. It didn't have
external database.
Xbox.
Yeah,
we were looking at the tags into it.
I remember it was like external database provider, basically. What about if you were to go say something to yourself back then, what would you tell yourself, like advice?
I don't know, man. Everything I've done is just iteration on what I did yesterday. So I don't know if I would change anything. All the mistakes I've made, all the good things I did. I think if I didn't do that, I don't know if I'd be in the same spot I'm in today. So
do you have any side projects you're working on or any GitHub libraries or
No, not publicly available at this point in time. Everything I'm right now is just work at Inductive Automation and family.
That's awesome. It's kind of crazy to see, back then we were integrating with the platform. Now you're on the other side, building the platform that we all have come to know and love. So it's kind of a nostalgic moment right now. So I appreciate you taking the time to. You have any closing remarks or?
No, I mean, I've been working with Inductive Automation and other products for 20 years now, officially 20 years, I think this October, and I'm really excited for what we're going to be able to accomplish the next 20 years.
Excellent. You heard it here, 20 more years of Inductive Automation. Kyle chase you guys. And Kyle, thank you for taking the time, man.
Yep.
Thank you.
See you later.
You too. Good job to you, man.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. If you like this content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.